Excuse me, this is day 224 of Ukrainian resistance made information center. My name is Mykolaiv. We start our briefing with today. Our guest is Vitaliy, the military governor of Mykolaiv Oblast. Mr. Vitaliy, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Vitaliy, about our offensive in Kherson Oblast. Well, we talk not only about Kherson region, because we pinch a little bit of Mykolaiv region as well, and also Snegurivka, which was under occupation. Please tell us where should we expect for a return of Snegurivka. Well, we're waiting for it each and every day, but it's not quite the subject that to be covered during the briefing, so to say. The information is still unconfirmed. We're waiting for within an hour. The officers left Snegurivka, but there are still troops in there. Then another question, the deoccupied territories. How the military governance will re-establish the Ukrainian government over that area? Was the plan of stabilization, return of government, appointment of new enforcement agencies, executive bodies, and so on. In reality, this is not a problem at all. As soon as the area is deoccupied, the new representatives of the new government settle the situation over there. We are ready to appoint in the liberated areas, we are ready to appoint the new government, and as well in the newly deoccupied situations which come under control of Ukraine. So it's not the issue of re-establishing the government, but liberation in a military way. Russians switched from strictly military actions to more of a terroristic tactics, using loitering drones and attack on civil and infrastructure objects. What changed in this connection in the governance of the region? I cannot agree with you in this regard, because the occupants acted as terrorists from the very first day. The majority of the rockets were aimed at the civil population, at the civil and infrastructure objects, the residential areas, for frightening the civil population. And now they add military and civil infrastructure to this. They shell it with all kinds of artillery, using other weapons as well. So now they have loitering drones that they started applying the Iranian Shahids, called by populace mopeds. So they just added another type of weapon. A question. Olga Panasenko, current form. After the shellings, the business in Mykolaiv region doesn't operate quite well. Does it noticeably influence the operations in the region now that the grain from Mykolaiv region comes through Odessa port? Is it really noticeable? Well, in my opinion, people are still waiting as due to the military risk, to the war risks. Now that we have export through the Odessa port, it helps us not to get the previous harvest loss and not to get bankrupt. It already helped the people. It already helps the people to sell their previous harvest, but it doesn't quite stimulate them to start the new harvesting campaign, because there are still war risks. Still, the regions which were under occupation from the beginning, the regions that were not close to the front line, they already start the harvesting campaign. Well, back to the shelling of critical infrastructure objects. In one way or another, everybody is interested in the heating season issue. In what way does Mykolaiv region create additional leverage and additional capacities to provide people with heating. What are the advice for the population of Mykolaiv? Are there any programs in place? The degree of readiness to the heating season in Ukraine is around 90% generally, as it was reported formally by our ministry. And the same is applicable to Mykolaiv. On top of that, there is the program of Ministry of Reintegration for additional procurement of log for the regions where we have breakdowns in power supply. That's the second program. And the third is that all the civil communal services keep operating on renewal, re-establishing, well, to fix the broken windows, in simple words, to the roofs. Now the heating system is being filled with water, and we take additional repairing efforts in case of any infrastructure being damaged. Thank you very much for holistic briefing. We had Vitaliy, the military governor of Mykolaiv region, live online, who told us about the preparation to the heating season. Our next briefing is at 1400. We will talk to Igor Tishkevich, the analyst of Ukraine Institute of Future, about the Belarus opposition, and we'll talk about the situation in Belarus.